I want to thank you for coming to our Chelmsford Buy to Let evening. My name's Stephen Frost and I'm a director of Martin & Co in Chelmsford and also the author of the Chelmsford Property blog. And I brought myself and my team here today to talk about property and all the things that we love. I'm very nervous as well, so I do apologise. Okay. We're all here because you're all landlords and we're all interested in the same thing, which is property in Chelmsford. Okay, I've got some great speakers lined up for you this evening. The first of which is a good friend of mine, is Chris Watkin. He's a property journalist from the UK and he's going to talk about the Chelmsford property market today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Watkin. I'm a property journalist and I talk about the property market in the UK, but I also talk about specific towns. And I'm here today to talk about Chelmsford and only Chelmsford. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the future of the buy-to-let market in Chelmsford by actually looking at the past, because if you want to tell the future, the good place to start is always the past. I'm going to talk about what's happened in the Chelmsford property market over the last 20-25 years, what's currently happening at the moment, more importantly, what's going to happen in the future. You as landlords want to know, is the demand for buy-to-let going to continue to rise? Is it going to drop? Is it going to remain the same? What's going to happen to prices? What's going to happen to rents? These are all important considerations with regard to your investment. It is my job to look at this, look at the economics and give you my considered opinion. Whether you agree with my opinion, that's your choice. But at the end of the day, these are my thoughts. So, with no what's the name of what's the name, let's crack on. So, how has the Chelmsford property market performed in the last 20 years? So first thing I did is I actually looked at what happened to property prices since 1998. Now I bought my first house in 1997. I know I don't look old enough, but there's plenty of you here that look like you owned your house then or a little bit further. And interestingly, property prices in Chelmsford are 341% higher than they were in 1998. Interestingly, when you compare that with a few areas, Udlesford at 265 and Colchester at 306, I thought Colchester would actually be more than that. So that was my first surprise. Brentwood at 377, again that was a surprise. I thought that would have been a lot more than that, being much closer to London. So whether that is Brentwood not performing as well or Chelmsford performing a little bit better, I don't know. But it just shows that Chelmsford has held its own. So let's have a look at that on the graph. So Basildon is in the red, Chelmsford is in the black, Colchester, anyone here from Colchester? No? Oh. And Udlesford's in the pink, if you can spot it. Now the important consideration here is, this is when the credit crunch happened and property prices dropped in Chelmsford by about 19%. But you can quite clearly see that it didn't take much till 2012 for them to catch up, and now we're a little bit further on. What you'll notice there is that the effect that Basildon has had, the growth in terms of pulling away from Chelmsford and Colchester, has actually been since 2014. So you'll notice before the boom, everything was going up at roughly the same sort of rate, but the London ones, especially, as I said, Basildon and other London suburbs around there have pulled away. London has almost been a world to itself within the M25. It has. I think there's a lot of newspapers out there that think the world stops at the M25, and if you look at London, London has been absolutely stupid. And I can see that property prices generally are overpriced, but outside the M25, things have actually been quite sensible. Moving on, the average value of a property at the moment in Chelmsford ranges around the 300-320 mark. These are all the areas in the UK that have the same average value property to Chelmsford. And you'll notice that you've got the southeast and you've got down on the south coast. But I thought that was quite interesting in terms of where the mix was in terms of equal value areas. I just spotted that graph a few days ago. I thought, I'll drop that one in. I thought that might be quite interesting.